Rob.
Hi. I think I'm going to move back here a little more.
Are you afraid
It's
of
a little
the
too
cam-
close for comfort. Yeah.
Really?
well,
You know how far away you are from the camera? You're
So far away? Okay.
So far away. What's your name?
Robert Sarchioni.
What is the name of this store?
Sachioni's Variety.
Do you call this a corner store?
I do, and especially where it's on a corner. It makes it a little, the title a little, you know, real. Basically, we're a variety store. We sell sandwiches to go.
People buy a lot of those?
Back in the days, but it's slowed down, you know.
Okay.
They went back to Italy and took that trip, and they were treated like kings and queens. Unbelievable.
Because they were Americans or because they had family there?
My family from Italy. My grandparents were both born in Italy. In
Which part of Italy?
Rome.
Oh, nice.
And we have our own town and our own city.
You're kidding.
Nope.
Okay, so what's the name of your town?
Sarchioni's.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, we have an ice cream shop. We looked it up on the internet. I did. Going into my second year now, I decided to take on a UPS job and be an access center, an access point.
And what does that mean exactly?
Well, what it is people that aren't at home, they don't leave the packages anymore because of the theft of people taking them. So what they do is they take them back. They leave a slip on the door for the individual and let them know that it'll be available at the access point the next day after 1.
You need to get the phone?
Yeah. That's probably one of my sisters, you know.
Oh, yeah?
In 1978, when we opened, we were on Webster Ave, where there were another store next to us. Well, if you walk to the left here where that greenhouse is,
yeah,
and you walk on the right side, you go over to there's Portsmouth. The next one is Bristol. After Bristol, there's a White House on the corner. That was a store. And then next to that, there's another White House. That's where our store was, in the middle. And I lived in the blue house next door to that, the 6 family.
Okay, so this was John's store?
John's Variety. There's 2 brothers, John and Ruby. It's the other brother. The store went from here probably to the center of the doors here. So from here to those center of this door, I think that door was added when they did the store over.
Oh,
and they
no
made it an
kidding.
apartment. Yes.
Wow.
Yep, that was called Bader's.
And
the man was a butcher when it originated and started out.
so Albert's, he still has that store there?
Yes.
That's the guy behind the counter?
Right, he's more of a liquor store now, but yeah.
660, okay.
And my brother-in-law was in business with my dad at that time. And he was an he'd become an MIT sergeant. It was
Your
just
dad?
like, yeah, he was working at MIT as a police officer. And he became a sergeant and he just couldn't do the business no more, and you know. So I bought him out back in I believe it was 82. So in 82, we were renting the store down there. And the building here I was inquiring about because it was up for sale. The Fazoli's had owned it, which is actually the people that originated the store. There's a Fazoli sign out in front of the store. They're the ones that originated the store back in, oh God, I don't know, probably 50s. Well, my thing is this store is a neighborhood store, a community store, and just a people store.
No.
I know what the hell you want.
No, I know. Easy around, man. Easy. That was
See,
beautiful.
that's how I treat my customers.
I know.
That was beautiful.
That's why they come back. They like the punishment.
That's my man right there. Hey, look. That's the godfather of the neighborhood.
That's the godfather.
Hey, look. That's the godfather of the neighborhood.
I mean, I have people from all over the city because I have the ballpark over here, Johnley Fields, And I do get a lot of revenue from that in the summer, which I have. And I appreciate the business I get there because it's from people from all different parts of the city, from North Cambridge, West Cambridge, East Cambridge. I get to meet different people, every year, and their kids play ball, and they do come here, and I appreciate their business as well.
Everybody must know you.
Everybody does know me in Cambridge, which is why I call it a community store, more than a neighborhood, but.
Oh, I love the sandwiches. I love the service. He's been here for so many years. I feel like part of the family. I love it.
Originated as a neighborhood store, but that kind of is gone down a little bit because of the housing changing. There's a lot of condos going up.
You've been coming here since you were a kid.
Very little. When the original guy was here, Little Joe's store was here.
Which store do you prefer?
Right here. Sachioni's the best. It is the best.
What's the item you buy most here?
Chips and soda.
Do the newcomers to the neighborhood venture in here?
They do.
Do you think the store will be able to survive with all the yuppies moving in?
I think so, yeah.
How long do you plan on continuing this?
Until I can't do it anymore.
And
I'm not a quitter. When I'm unable to do it, I should say, then I'll stop. Yeah, but they're becoming obsolete now, the stores. City-wise here, the most of them are gone. I mean, I don't know how many there are in the city left, but I know the ones that I knew here.
Boston. It was like every other corner there was a mom and pop store.
Yeah.
Well, and here the same way. There was 1, 2, Albert's, which was on Cambridge Street now. He was on this corner. That's 3. There was...
I heard there was one across the street from me.
Tuffy's was on Windsor Street. And up on Webster Ave, in the corner of Webster Ave in Lincoln, there was Ann's there.
I know...
So that's 5, 6. George's was on
Shire Market. They
Street.
haven't closed down, but since I've been living here 18 years, I know for a fact that they've changed owners at least 4 times.
Yeah. Well, see, that I would consider a neighborhood store, but that basically...
That's not really like a mom and pop store?
It is, but I mean, it's basically on a main drag.
Okay,
So
yeah.
I would consider that a little different than, I mean,
Some guys
I
like you
survived
are tucked
39
back in the
years and I'm
corners.
back here in the corner.
Right.
And I'm not really on a main drag. So a main drag, you're gonna naturally have more people stop by.
It's just like if you don't live in this neighborhood, you don't know about this place.
I've seen a lot of kids grow up, many generations, which I call generations. I go every 5 years because they start coming on their own when they're like 12 or 13. So then those 13s in 5 years then become 18s, and some of them have kids now, and children having children. So it's like you see them grow up and then they've got children.
So, as far as things going on in the neighborhood, was the Berkshire fire the worst thing that you've ever experienced?
That is the worst that I've ever seen. That is the worst that I've seen ever in the area, and I've been in this area 39 years, as I said, and it was devastating. It was scary. It was frightening. I did take a video from my backyard, which is off of Hamlin, from the deck in the back, and the flames were atrocious.
Is that's your backyard?
Yep.
Now, do you think there was a dumpster there?
Not in my backyard. It was across the street.
Is that what you're hearing?
Yeah. And
A dumpster?
well, I would assume there was because they were renovating the house.
Yeah.
It was the worst. I've never seen anything like it.
Were a lot of people congregating?
Oh, they were just
Here?
like here, all around, the whole area. We did have a lot of them, but the police and the fire dispersed them, but there were quite a few.
Were people able to access your store?
No, they weren't.
Oh, so
No.
it was cut off.
It was cut off at one point. Like I said, it was a catastrophe, so everybody was just like running and curious. And
Were you evacuated?
I actually was in here, and when it first started, and I locked my door for a minute. Then when I went in the back and took it, I then got scared. So I came back, unlocked my door, and I just stayed in here till because fire engines were coming from every direction, every angle. So they did evacuate quite a few people, but I didn't leave because I had no lights at that point. So I'm already in the store locked in, and I was told that, well, stay there. If you have to evacuate, we'll let you know. And I felt protected because I had so many fire engines and the hydrants right out in front of me, you know, and so I waited till a point that I didn't have to leave. My back part of my house, which goes over there, all my windows are back there, but they were sealed and I didn't open any, so, and I didn't get any smoke. But the church is right from my back window. You can see the whole church and all the backyard and everything, so.
How are people in the neighborhood coping, as far as you've been able to tell? It's been about a month or two now.
You know, people, there are some that have already moved back into the area, and some of them are in the houses that were available over there on York Street. I guess they're still devastated by it, but, you know, and they said, you know, it's not the same being where they are now. We're opposed to being where they were in the church. It's just so different. But that takes adjustment for anybody. But, you know, they said they had their cry and then they just moved on. You have to move on.
Do you have someone you want to pass this business on to?
I'm not quite sure because I don't know the rules and laws and regulations, because back in the 80s, the area was rezoned as residential. So therefore, nobody can open a business in the store any longer. I was grandfathered in back in, really technically, I don't know the year. I'm gonna say it may have been, it was in the 80s that it was grandfathered in. So, you know, you can't buy any stores. So I don't know what the laws are as far as that goes. And I don't know if they have the oomph that I have to run a business for 39 years.
Yeah.
They're not into that. I'm a people's person. Okay, let me think of this phrase.
When's this going to be televised?
Okay, so what I would like to do is thank the community, the neighbors, for being loyal customers and supporting me all these years. I kind of feel like they're more family than customers. Thank you.